my dream diary. First entry, 1st of December 2015. Even did a little drawing of what happened in that one. That's the story I'm going to tell in this video. But as you can see, there's a lot of dreams gone into this over the last 2 years. And I said in the last video, I said that since January this year, since I've been having out-of-body experiences, I haven't been noting up any of my normal dreams, just the special dreams, the lucid dreams and the out-of-body experiences. So it could be a lot fuller. I could have been on my third book by now if I'd have written all my normal dreams up as well. But this is the back page, and here I've listed all the lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences and special meditation exercises, experiences that I've had in order, and I'm up to number 77, and they're the ones that are going to be all the stories I'm going to tell over the next month or 2 or 3. A few of them I've already done, the latest ones I've already given you, and any new ones that come up, as I say, I will make videos of those first. But I'm going to start today on the first entry out of this book, and go on from there. And there's some interesting stuff here. I've got to put my glasses on to read them. Some of the titles I've got: Meeting Demon Wolves, Lucid Dream, Awake and Return, Talking Cat Dream, Contemplating Time and Lucidity Dream, Alien Ships 1 and 2, E.T. and Healing Plants Dream, Virtual Army Game, Motorcycle Out-of-Body Experience, Meeting an Angel, quite a few lucid dreams with alien ships, Test Dream Scary, Test Dream Death, Insect Threat, Being a Cat, A Profound Dream of Robots, Lower Astral Level, Ski Jumping, Crazy Mind Movie Dream, Dark Force Attack, Healing of Kids, Seeing Myself, Alien Ship Visitation, and Teaching My Ex to Fly. That's just some of the titles of these experiences I've had, which you'll get to hear very shortly. Okay, let's go to the beginning of the book, and I'll tell you about my first entry, which is Seeing My Hands with 7 fingers on them. So back to December 2015 when I started this. I'd heard this technique from a guy called Robert Wagner. He's well known as an experienced lucid dreamer. And it involves an intention that you set when you go to bed, that tonight I will see my hands and realise I'm dreaming. I'd never tried this. I think this was the first really technique-based induction into lucid dreaming I'd done. Most of the time before then I'd just done it by just intent to lucid dream, but without any visual trigger. And this worked the first night that I tried it. Unfortunately, it never worked again. I don't know why. I've I've just never been able to see my hands in my dreams and have this experience. My brother has done this a few times and it works really good for him. But I don't know why it doesn't work. Anyway, but it did work that first night, and I'd laid these intentions down and gone to sleep and found myself in a dream in a cafe with a friend, and we were just talking. I don't have any recollection of getting there or anything. And the cafe is quite full. There's other people in there, families with children, and there's a lot of activity going on. And while we're talking, all of a sudden, for no reason, my hands just come up in front of my face. And that's just so powerful a trigger, because you just remember right away that that's what you expected in your intention. So I see my hands, and I'm immediately lucid. But I notice my hands, and they're really, really strange. I've done this, a little drawing of it in my book. I had 7 fingers on each hand, and it was just like this, but with an extra finger coming out the bottom here, the 6th finger. The 7th seemed to grow out the 1st finger here, a little one. And I looked at both my hands and I showed them to my friend. I said, look. And he confirmed there were 7 fingers on every hand. And I thought, okay, then I'm lucid. What to do with my lucidity? And I looked around in the room. I didn't have a plan beforehand, but I looked around the room, and there was a little boy blowing soap bubbles at one of those little things, and he was blowing bubbles about, and they were floating around the cafe. So I put my hand out and I captured one of them, and it didn't pop, and I turned it into a silver ball, quite a heavy silver, solid silver ball, and I gave it to his mother. I said, feel that. And she held it. I said, tell everybody what it is. And she told everybody in the cafe, because I've got their attention now, that it's a silver ball, and I've turned one of these bubbles into that silver ball. This was a really strange situation now, because I felt like I was a magician, a stage magician. And I really wanted to show this crowd, which is now my audience, the illusion of the world they were living in by doing some real magic. And I'd just done this, so I stood up and I said, okay, I need some volunteers for the next experiment, the next trick. And I got a couple of guys up at the audience to help me. And I got them to stand behind me and support my shoulders while I leaned back in a sort of plank position. And once I'd got low enough, I then lifted my feet off the ground without any help and lay there floating, levitating above the ground. I got a little round of applause, but nobody was really, really fascinated or excited, didn't want to know more. I felt a little bit disappointed with that. So I thought, leave them alone. I forgot about my friend who's sitting alone on the table, and I went outside. And I thought, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do some more of this levitation stuff. And there was a sort of wall and this passageway that was built out of long panels of wood. A sort of underpass, or a pass from one part of the building to another part of the building to keep off the rain. And I used this as my, it was about 15 feet high, so I used this as my levitation mark, and I jumped up, levitated to touch them, and came back down again, and kept doing this a few times. But I noticed I was landing a little bit too heavy. I could get up to the top, but I would get down a lot faster. And I thought, this is not how I want to land. And I really wanted to make something of this. I thought, I want to land in a good superhero pose, you know the type. So I did this, and I did this once with a really good landing, And I was about to try it again, but some school kids came by, and I was surrounded by activity and all these people, and I felt a little bit self-conscious about doing this. I also realised that for some reason I'm wearing short trousers instead of long ones, and really made me feel self-conscious and a bit silly. So I left thinking, when all those children have gone, then I'll carry on with my experiment. But it didn't get that far, and I woke up, wrote it down in my dream diary. That started the whole process that I've kept up since then. But the technique is something I've given to a few other people to try, and it's worked for them as well. It's a well-known technique, and it's a really good technique to, especially to have your first lucid dream experience if you've never had one, or if you don't exactly know what lucid dreams are. You need a really good trigger, and this is one of the easiest triggers. I've even read this in a Carlos Castaneda book that Don Juan said, you know, if you see your hands in the dream, we don't really see our hands in dreams, and when you do, you can become lucid. So it's probably come from ancient practices in lucid dreaming. So there's really not more to tell in this video, because it was a very short experience. It was fun. It was fun to actually involve an audience. And again, that desire that comes up to tell everybody in your dream that they're living in a dream, spoil their reality for them. Pretty much what I want to do in this life is this realm as well, because once you have these experiences, and the more you have them, especially the out-of-body experiences, which reflect even more conscious awareness than the lucid dreams, then you just become so convinced that this reality is no more or no less a dream than those dream realities are. And you want to go around and tell everybody, stop taking it all so seriously. You know, it's just a dream. Stop worrying. Stop stressing. Stop doing things you don't want to do. Go out and live your dream because you create it. There's a lot to talk about on this issue of the benefits and applications of lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences, and I will discuss those eventually in other videos. But the experiences you have just open up your mind to that idea that this is not real. It just seems real because we don't know anything outside of it. But when you do know something outside of it, you do start to understand that it's wasting your life if you take this one to be the only reality, and if you take it too seriously. Think about that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.